Hey everyone! So today I'm going to show you how to get travel insurance and also how it actually works. So you might first ask, what most people do ask, why do I actually need to pay for it and should I even get it? And the answer is yes. It's one of those things where you pay a little bit more money and hope you don't have to use it. But when you do have to use it in case you get hurt, injured, something gets stolen, or your flight gets delayed, then you wish you had it. So I personally use World Nomads. It's trusted and recommended by Lonely Planet, Intrepid, and also Nomadic Matt, which is he's a huge travel blogger that I follow and also trust his recommendations. So I'm just going to show you a little bit at how it works and how to sign up for it. So you would just go to worldnomads.com and this is their homepage. And let's say, for example, that you are going to, let's do an example here. We're going to Thailand. And also, let's say we're going to Cambodia. And I'm from the States. To California. And let's say we're going on a 3-week trip, just for an example. And let's just say I'm put in 30. One thing I did find out that was interesting is when I was traveling for a whole entire year, when you do a 6-month plan and you put in 6 months, it's somehow a better deal. I'm not sure why, but it just works that way. So you could play around if you're traveling for a long time and not doing a short vacation, play around with like 1 month, 2 months, and stuff like that. Obviously, the longer you travel, the more of a better deal usually it is. But I once knew I was traveling for a year and I found out the 6 month was actually a really good time limit. So yeah, so you hit click a price. And as you can see here, the standard plan, that's how much you pay for 3 weeks, and then $138 for 3 weeks with the Explorer plan. So the main difference is really, as you can see down here, you would do, it's mainly adventure sports and activities. So with the Explorer plan, and you can see here, obviously, standard covers a lot of things, but Explorer is if you go ballooning, hot air ballooning, or if you go bobsledding, if that's your thing, bull riding, bungee jumping. So let's say you go to New Zealand and doing a lot of those adventure thriller stuff, you would probably want to get Explorer because that's what, if you get injured by those, that's what they will cover you. Standard is more like good if you're going to like a relaxing beach vacation and whatnot. It does cover most of it. But again, if you're doing a adventure thing, then go Explorer option. And this is actually what travel insurance covers. A lot of times, well, at least if you're someone from the States, your health insurance usually doesn't cover when you leave the States. But I'm just going to show you what this entails. And of course, there's the fine print of this. This is just a summary of the plans. And so sometimes you might get in a car accident or you might get sick overseas, which is what happened to me. I have a pretty strong stomach and I think I have a pretty good immune system. But in South Korea, when it got really cold, my left ear just kept hurting. It didn't go away after 3 days. I tried to toughen it out, but it stayed for a week. So that's when I decided to go to the doctor and got meds for it. So it shows you how much it'll cover. And then emergency evacuation and stuff like that, obviously, if covers transportation or like just if, is where you have to really, let's say you get really sick where you have to be flown back home, that it'll cover that up to that amount of money. Non-medical emergency evacuation, if terrorist attacks or, I don't know, hurricanes kind of come through maybe, then this is what it'll cover, up to $25,000. Trip cancellation and trip interruption and trip delay are actually the biggest reasons people file for travel insurance claims. And, it's just life happens or the weather or things get canceled or someone in the family dies, you have to cancel it, or, weather happens, who knows, or a trip gets delayed, they will cover up to part of up to a certain amount. And same thing with lost luggage and whatnot. So you can read through all this as well. Collision damage has to do usually with rental car, so that covers it. Accidental death and dismemberment. Hopefully this doesn't happen to you, but in case you lose a leg, an arm, or someone dies. And obviously adventure sports and activities. So again, there's gonna be more fine print to read once you buy the insurance plan. So let's say I'm going on a beach vacation, so I'm just gonna buy the standard. You click through everything, and then they ask you for your details and whatnot, payment details, and then you just get an email confirmation on when you buy it. On the successful purchase. Another thing to keep in mind is in the fine print, they will say in the email and like the documents of the fine print that you get, obviously certain things that will not be covered, like diabetes or just like current existing medical conditions. Also, things like alcohol. If you get hurt while you are drunk, usually they won't cover that because you're under the influence of alcohol. So yeah. So another thing to note is that I found their customer service and medical emergency line. And the thing is, the medical emergency, you use it for mainly if you need help, I guess. Whereas customer service is more to file claims and if you have questions. Before making this video, I decided to call the numbers just to make sure they work. This customer service number is not 24 hours, 24/7. Today's President's Day here in the States, and this number strangely goes to like a kind of like a telemarketing call, I guess. So I called this one, and an after hours person did pick up. This is what you call if you need to find a doctor, I'd say, or that kind of stuff. But so what people don't might not explain, besides just buying travel insurance, is that you first go to the doctor. If something does happen to you, you first go to the doctor. You don't try to call them first. And what happened to me is I Googled English-speaking clinics or international clinics in the area. You could call the insurance World Nomads for them to help you find one, but I found that wasn't really as useful. So I went with Google. So when you're done, after seeing the doctor, or let's say your stuff gets stolen, you file a police report and you keep a copy of that police report. I just took a photo of it and emailed it to the travel insurance company when I filed the claim. And you can also keep receipts of your how much you paid for the doctor visit and the medicine. And so in order to file a claim, this is what happens. You're gonna have to make an account, and then you are going to log in and go to your member dashboard. Okay, and then under personal details here, you can see that, let's see here, you can click make a claim. And obviously, these are all old policies. I'm not traveling at the moment, but let's say this is my current policy. I'm still traveling. You would click here and make a claim, and you would just fill out all the information about what happened, the day it took place and whatnot, and then you would upload the receipts and documents on this website. And then they'll just keep you posted via email and also through messaging on the status of your claim. And so luckily when I called them because I was freaking out in South Korea because I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, what I'm supposed to do, how do I get reimbursed and everything. So this was a couple years ago. And so for the reimbursement, after the status goes through and everything, because they kind of have to look over it and make sure that it's not like fraudulent, and for someone to actually look over the translation, because my receipt and everything was in Korean. And so after a few weeks, this was a few years ago, so what they did was the only way they could reimburse me was they said they can mail a check to my home address back home. And so that wasn't really what I wanted, but at the time, I was still traveling for another couple months, so I was able to cash the check in when I got home months later. However, I called the customer service today, and the headquarters wasn't open. It was just an after-hours person that picked up. And they said they believe an e-check is now what they do now. But I'll just have to update you once I find out when I call them back tomorrow. So an e-check is they'll just email you a check. You can print it out and then just cash it in or deposit it at a bank. but obviously sometimes your local bank does not exist in other countries. Or if you have a mobile app for a bank, you can do that as well and just upload with your mobile app. But I hope this helps, and feel free to comment below if you have any further questions and if you found this to be helpful. Thanks!